Think of the gear you can't live without, the smartphone you constantly check. The camera that goes with you on every vacation. The TV that serves as a portal to binge watching and gaming. Each owes its influence to one model that changed the course of technology for good. Some of these were the first of their kind. Others propelled an existing idea into the mainstream. Some were unsuccessful commercially, but influential nonetheless. And a few represent exciting but unproven new concepts. Here are 10 technological gadgets that made history. Number 1. The Apple iPhone. Apple was the first company to put a truly powerful computer in the pockets of millions when it launched the iPhone in 2007. Smartphones had technically existed for years, but none came together as accessibly and beautifully as the iPhone. Apple's device ushered in a new era of flat, touchscreen phones with buttons that appeared on screen as you needed them, replacing the chunkier phones with slide-out keyboards and static buttons. What really made the iPhone so remarkable, however, was its software and mobile app store, introduced later. The iPhone popularized the mobile app, forever changing how we communicate, play games, shop, work, and complete many everyday tasks. The iPhone is a family of very successful products. But, more than that, it fundamentally changed our relationship to computing and information, a change likely to have repercussions for decades to come. Number 2. The Magic Wand. A few years after a 2002 episode of Sex and the City revealed the electric neck massager's cultish adoption as a vibrator, Hitachi dropped its brand from the device. But only in name, the Magic Wand, in service since the late 1960s, likely remains the best-known product stateside made by the $33.5 billion Japanese company. Hitachi makes everything from aircraft engines to defense equipment. But perhaps nothing as personally stimulating, though sex therapists and fans have extolled the wand's virtues by analogizing it to cars. It more closely resembles a microphone, with a white plastic shaft, the wand, and a vibrating head, presumably, the magic. Number 3. Nintendo Game Boy. It's a wonder we didn't destroy our eyes gaming on the Game Boy's tiny 2.6-inch olive green screen, considering how many Nintendo sold. Over 200 million when you include the souped-up subsequent Game Boy Advance. A chunky, somewhat dismal-looking off-white object with garish cerise-colored buttons, Nintendo's 1989 handheld invented the modern mobile game. Its modest power and anemic screen forced developers to distill the essence of genres carried over from consoles. The result, a paradigm shift in mobile game design that's influenced everything from competing devoted handhelds to Apple's iPhone. Number 4. Tomtom GPS. Like the early internet, GPS started life as a government-funded innovation. It wasn't until President Bill Clinton decided in 2000 to fully open the network that it became a massive commercial success. He was filling a promise made by Ronald Reagan. Shortly afterwards, companies from Tomtom to Garmin introduced personal GPS devices for automotive navigation like the Start 45 and other uses. Later, combining GPS technology with smartphones' mobile broadband connections gave rise to multi-billion-dollar location-based services like Uber. Number 5. Apple iPad. The iPad's 2010 launch spurred a slew of headlines questioning whether or not the tablet would replace the laptop as the most important personal computer. Apple's iPad wasn't the first tablet, but it was radically different from what came before. Earlier devices, like the GridPad and Palm Pilot, had smaller touchscreens users had to operate with a stylus. Microsoft unveiled a tablet that ran Windows XP in 2002. The problem, however, was that these devices didn't have interfaces that were well suited for touch, and they were often clunkier and larger than the iPad. Apple sold 300,000 iPads on its first day in stores, roughly matching the iPhone's day one numbers, and has gone on to dominate the market. Number 6. Commodore 64. Commodore's 8-bit brown and top-loafy 1982 masterpiece ranks with record keeper Guinness as the best-selling single computer in history. No surprise, as the chunky, relatively affordable keyboard-housed system, users plugged the whole thing into a TV with an RF box, did more to popularize the idea of the personal home computer than any device since. And it promised to make you more popular, too. My friends are knocking down my door to get into my Commodore 64, sang a Ronnie James Dio clone in a power metal ad spot. Number 7. Tivo. How much would you pay never to see another talking frog or battery-powered bunny again? This magazine asked when the first Tivo was announced in 1999. The box, called a personal video recorder at the time, is the forerunner to today's DVRs. Tivo owners could record shows picked from a digital menu in a more confusing VCR settings and pause or rewind live television. Much to TV execs' consternation, the Tivo let viewers of recorded programming breeze past commercials. That the Tivo made it easier than ever to record a TV show gave rise to time shifting, or the phenomenon of viewers watching content when it fits their schedule. Number 8. Sony Playstation. You'd be hard-pressed to name a single PlayStation feature that by itself transformed the games industry. It's been Sony's obsession with compacting high-end tech into sleek, affordable boxes, then making all that power readily accessible to developers. That's made the PlayStation family an enduring icon of the living room. Part of Sony's triumph was simply reading the demographic tea leaves. The company marketed the PlayStation as a game system for grown-ups to the kids who'd literally grown up playing Atari and Nintendo games. And that helped drive the original system, released in 1994, to meteoric sales, including the PlayStation 2 single-quote Guinness record for best-selling console of all time, a record even Nintendo's Wii hasn't come close to breaking. Number 9. Nokia 3210. For many, Nokia's colorful candy bar-shaped 3210 defined the cell phone after it was released in 1999. With more than 160 million sold, it became a bestseller for the Finnish company. The 3210 did more than just introduce a cell phone to new audiences. It also established a few important precedents. The 3210 is regarded to be the first phone with an internal antenna and the first to come with games like Snake preloaded. Gadget reviewers even praised the phone more than 10 years after its launch for its long battery life and clear reception. Number 10. Motorola Dynatag 8000X. Motorola's Dynatag 8000X was the first truly portable cell phone when it launched in 1984. Marty Cooper, an engineer with Motorola at the time, first demonstrated the technology by making what's regarded as the first public cellular phone call from a New York City sidewalk in 1973. It was both a PR stunt and an epic humblebrag. Cooper called his biggest rival AT&T. The Dynatag 8000X weighed nearly 2 pounds and cost almost $4,000. And that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Bye.